Meet Manjeet Rukra. He runs a real estate investing coaching and training company in Canada where he helps people buy real estate using none of their own money. And until recently, Manjeet has grown his business through organic marketing and word of mouth referrals. But now he's trying to scale with YouTube ads. And he isn't sure if his campaigns are actually working or if they're broken. So he reached out to me to get some one-on-one help, and within 30 minutes, I fixed his broken ads and gave him a 90-day game plan to maximize his ROAS. My name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of adspend.com, and if you're a coach, course creator, or agency owner who's looking to scale with YouTube ads as well, then pay close attention to the next 30 minutes because it's likely that you're also making a lot of the same mistakes as Manjeet. Enjoy.
How's it going, man?
Well, hey, man, thanks for being willing to hop on the phone with us. And sometimes this is easier. I know I didn't get this stuff going when I was actually in the weed tube, and just because we're doing good with organic. But
Sure.
Yeah, I'll let Brian, take it over. And if I need to fill in somewhere, I will.
First off, pleasure to meet you, Brian. Thanks for your in-depth training. So to jump in, I'm not sure if you had an agenda already or if we can just ask some questions and then we go from there.
No agenda. I mean, I just need you guys to tell me what you need help with and I'll go from there.
And so I would say fundamentally what we really need is three things, at the very least two things. And that's really just being able to know what it is we're looking at in the back office of both the Google Analytics as well as the KPI sheet. Because what we want to do is just learn how to read the numbers to diagnose where the holes in the boat are so we can see which campaign is failing, but to know why. As in, if we click in there, we open it up, we can see that when the drop-off rate is about here, this means that this one's sick, as an example, better turn it off. Or this one over here, these numbers are good, so this one we can increase. And I know that in your videos, you have an optimization module that talks about scaling horizontally, vertically. Those are ones that we can work on. But I feel like without knowing what to look at the numbers, I'm just not sure what decisions to make. And then part two is how to do the same reading the KPI sheet to see where the holes in the boat are. If it's the amount of ad spend or the ad itself or the opt-in or the landing page, just to locate where the hole in the boat are.
Okay, so let's tackle the second one first, because that's going to be the most important. So do you have the tracking sheet pulled up?
I do, yeah.
Let's look at that.
Right. So we did a little modification because we do a 2-call close. So that's why it looks different.
Totally fine. Okay, so can you scroll down to the bottom just to see the totals so far for February? Okay, so you spent $1,000, and then how many sales came from this?
We have one sale, so we have one deposit. It's a deposit, but the remainder is coming in end of month, so I don't count it as a sale yet. But I did put down the revenue and the deposit.
Was the deposit was like $1,000 though, right?
500.
Yeah, I mean, still, man, congrats. That's from $1,000 in ad spend. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So one more, hopefully tomorrow, that'll be a good 6,800. We're hoping so.
Nice. Okay, well, cool. So we have some data to go off of. So yeah. All right. So the biggest way to read this is from right to left, right? So again, the reason why I looked at the spend and then I look at the right is to just make sure. Okay, so you have sales. Okay, so you got a deposit for 500 and technically you have 5,800 coming in. You're basically at a 0.5 return on ad spend. Let's just say without the full amount coming in. So not bad. It's only the first month too. The goal is to be at least break even. Worst case scenario. So you're almost there in terms of cash. Now, if there's no sales, then you have to go to the next part, right? Which is the sales side. So let's scroll up here and look at these metrics.
We launched our ad in 18th of January.
So how much have you spent total then?
On the 18th, we will have spent $2,500.
Cool. So $2,500. All right, nice. Let's see. This was 1, 2, 3, 4 calls booked. And then how many calls did you book in January?
Which over here. And looks like none in January. 5 in January.
No, 5 in January. No second calls. Yeah.
Okay, no second calls. Were those just not good fits, or what happened there?
Yeah, not a good fit, or basically not qualified or not ready.
Okay. All right, so $2,500 spent. Ryan, if you can just go to the overview of it. So yeah, there we go, perfect. So now you have 3 calls that booked, 3 taken, and you got 2 deposits.
One deposit.
You said you have another one coming in?
Yeah, they're gonna pay in full, so I don't count it till it comes in. But like it looks
Okay.
promising, but yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah, so your show up rate's good. So you just, yeah, 3 calls. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's the second call. I see. Okay, yeah. 3 second calls taken. And then you've had 8 discovery calls taken.
Yeah, I'd say about 8. Yeah.
Yeah, your cost per booking is really good. I mean, 290, you can always try to get that down lower. But by all means, this is a great start from what I'm seeing. So that's good so far. The video sales letter conversion rate is at a 10.27%. Okay, so basically what this is telling me, Brian, is that after they book the call is not the problem right now. You just need more calls, right? So now we're going to go to the add the first call column and just focus on this because they're showing up for the second call. So cost per booking, 290. Yeah, your video sales later is 10%. Call book. Cost per lead's pretty high. And forgive me again, Manji, who are you targeting with this offer?
Real estate investors. Real estate investors, basically, in Canada.
Well, that makes sense then. So we can maybe try to work to get that down. Landing page, wow, 5%. Interesting. That's the biggest thing that's standing out to me. So you just need to fix the landing page right now. Your click-through rate's of almost a 1%. That's really good. Your cost per click is really low as well. The only thing I'm looking at right now is the landing page because the video conversion rate at 10% is still pretty decent. You just need more people to actually go through and watch. That's where the bottleneck seems to be for me.
Is this guy here our opt-in page then? Is that what it means by landing page?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So opt-in page is pretty weak. Okay.
Yeah, you want to get that at least to a 15%.
That's basically after they watch the ad or they just click on the ad and they go to the landing page.
Yes, exactly.
Show that. I don't know if you want to maybe take a look at that. What?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's just see here where we're at. Yeah, so ours is like about 12%, and you want to get that to at least 15%. So we're still working on that for our ads as well. So it's not just you. Let's look at that, but then let's also go into the campaigns afterwards because that's the only thing that's standing out to me right now. So other than that, we just got to get more people through.
How would you say our, you said the CTR, CPC works here, but are we really considering, like, for example, view rate here, that's pretty low compared to what was recommended in your videos?
9.2%. Yeah, I mean, but that's just, again, reading from right to left, it's just not the issue right now. Like you have 1,685 clicks. You know, people are clicking on the ads. It's just, they're just not opting in.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like the major hole in the boat right there.
It might just be a congruency issue on the opt-in page from the ads. So let's take a look at the ads and then the landing page.
Well, let's go to the ads first here and I'll pull up the landing page afterwards.
All right, cool. So let's go to, let's do the last 30 days. That way it includes January as well. And you correct me if I'm wrong, you guys just got Hyros, correct?
We figured our issue in the back here. I discovered what was not enabling these guys to be showing up on the modified tables. And so we were just about to get Hyros, but decided we would just work with these guys till we actually close a few, then get Hyros.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not too far off. You had like 73 opt-ins and this shows 80, so it's almost there. So do you have the cost column here somewhere?
No, but I can add that.
Yeah, let's add cost, and then that should be fine. Usually I like to do cost, and then I like to have click-through rate, and then I like to have view rate as well. So
clicks, views.
Yeah, so just cost, not cost per conversion. You can keep that if you want, that's fine. But I just do cost, so just search for cost under the magnifying glass. Right there, yeah. Just put cost. There you go. I like to have that in the front, like the very first one, just to see what campaign's costing us the most, or spending the most, I should say. And yeah, you can put it under campaign ID. There you go, perfect. And then yeah, that's fine for now. You can keep that. Okay, so yeah, they're all about even right now, and these are all still on max conversions, which is a really good thing because again, target CPA is going to be where you want to switch to, but maybe after another week, I would probably switch to target CPA. That's going to allow you to bid for a cost per lead of what you want. So, you know, you can obviously do like $25 cost per acquisition would be what I would do. So I would switch it to switch from max conversions to target CPA and bid for $25. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That way you can start getting conversions for cheaper and also a little bit better quality. So here's the thing though, like I'm just going to be very honest right now. Like if I tell you guys to do anything inside the ad account, it's going to be only to your detriment because each campaign is clearly only spent $500 and the cost per lead overall is about $20, $29, $30. But let's look at these and just look at the cost per lead. Okay. So the only one that's standing out to me that's pretty high is 41. Now, the problem with this is what's to say if that's the one that got us the sale?
Yeah.
Right? Like we could pause the $41 cost per lead right now just because that one's high, and we want to get $25 cost per leads. But we don't know if the booked call who paid the deposit is from this one. Or we don't know if the one who's going to pay in full on Monday is from that one. Does that make sense? So rather than tell you to pause anything right now, what I just really want to be cognizant of is making sure you spend $2,500. The program cost is $5,800 or is it $6,800?
Yeah, 68, 58, 68, like depending.
Okay. So until we've spent at least one program's worth of money, I really just wouldn't touch anything, guys, if I'm being completely honest with you. Besides the bidding strategy for max conversions to target CPA. That's probably the only thing I would do.
Do you understand that, Brian? I don't, max conversion.
I do. Yeah, I do. And would you recommend switching all of our campaigns over to that?
Yeah. I would do that once. How much are you guys spending right now per day?
We are at $83 a day.
Okay. Do you guys have more availability to get more calls booked, or is that all you can afford in terms of calls booked? Like, is the calendar packed right now? Is that why?
Oh, no.
Okay. What's your calendar availability look like? How many calls can you guys add?
Like per day?
Yeah.
Well, it's a 2-call close. So if I'm doing second calls on the same day, probably like 5. I could probably add 5 more per day.
Is there any reason why we're not spending more?
No. Like I just kind of decided on that. I mean, there was no rhyme or reason.
I think the strategy right now is just because YouTube ads is a new tool for us. And so starting off with this level of ad budget is really just our way of testing the waters, right? So you don't plunk in $5,000 just knowing here. So to figure out what's working by testing the waters and then scaling from there. So that was really the reason for starting at that budget.
Gotcha. Yeah, the problem with the budget, though, is it's not conducive for getting what you want, right? So, for example, the reason you set the budget for the campaigns is to determine how many calls you need. You always work right to left. So, like, if you need 5 more calls per day and the average cost per call is $300, how much budget is that?
Yeah, I can see that.
You're just trying to optimize for more calls, right? That's what you want. So to get 5 more calls per day, you need to spend obviously a little bit more. Now, the reasoning makes sense. Yeah, let's test the waters for sure. What I'm seeing is not only going to be very profitable, you're going to be at a 2x basically here very shortly once that person ideally pays in full, and then very quickly a 4x once you get the $6,800 paid in full, given they come through, right? When that does happen, really the only thing you need to do is just spend more money from what I'm seeing right now.
So how about
Sure.
the hooks? Because we were also talking about, again, this is very new to me. Like Brian has experience with ads, but like we have the 5 hooks, we got the body, right? Like trying to figure out, well, which hook is doing nothing for us. I don't know if we can see that. Should we kill 1 or 2 of the hooks, recreate a new one, or put that money into the other 2 or 3 winners? So we were kind of discussing that this week, if we're there yet, or
we can discuss it. But I wouldn't do any of that yet. Just if this was me, I wouldn't do any of that. What's the main thing, right? The main thing is the amount of calls on the calendar, and it's getting leads and it's converting into calls. We just got to get more throughput. So to get more throughput, you need to spend more, especially if you have 5 calls a day and availability to take. Then that's where I would aim here. Now, going back to the landing page issue, let's look at the landing page and we can look at the ads. See here. Want to learn 3 proven tactics for navigating Canada's booming real estate opportunities, even in today's market. Confidently and profitably invest in real estate without tapping into your savings, even if you've never done this before. Perfect for those who own 0 to 5 properties who want to scale faster. Secrets, the old ways. Okay, great. All right. What are the ads? Can we look at let's play some of the. Okay. So yeah. Now let's go to the videos tab on the left-hand column. Go to video. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So now let's sort by cost on this one. Yeah, just click on the cost column. Yeah, there you go. Sort by cost. Let's just see which one spent the most. Huh. 241. Doesn't sound right. Scroll down. Why is it only showing $500 in Canadian spent on these videos?
It's possible that this is just one of our campaigns.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, you're in one of the, okay. Go back to all campaigns. Sorry, there you go. I thought you were in the main tab. That's my fault. Go to videos. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay. 274. And then scroll down. Okay. All right. So let's watch the top one. Let's watch the 5-minute and 2-second one.
Hey, stop trying to purchase real estate using your own money. It sucks, it's slow, and it's not scalable. Use other people's money instead. It's the fastest way to make $100,000 a year passively from cash flowing properties, and you never have to worry about saving up your own money to buy your next property or having perfect credit. Click on the link in this video to find out how we're helping hundreds of Canadians do this right now. My name is Manji Rukra, and I'm the founder of Prosper Path, and we help new and experienced real estate investors cash in on those hidden money-making properties that only the top investors know how to find, all without using any of their own money. Why? Because when I started investing back in 2008, I had very similar challenges. I didn't understand how to invest, I didn't know how to purchase properties and build my cash flowing portfolio, and I didn't know how to actually locate these types of opportunities on the market where I was just relying on realtors or scouring the MLS in hopes of finding a good deal. Trust me, it stunk. But fast forward 16 years, that is not the case anymore. I don't rely on what I have saved up in the bank anymore using my own personal savings or just hope that the bank will give me another mortgage approval so I can keep buying properties. No, I have learned how to find and leverage other people's money. And
let's go to the call to action. When do you do the call to action?
Well, the action would be around here.
Okay, just see it real quick. I just want to see what the call to action says.
we're here to help you get your first or next real estate project under contract in as little as 30 to 90 days. The best time slots fill up fast, so be sure to reserve yours now. I'm Manji Rukra, and I look forward to speaking with you very soon.
So skip it before that, so I can see like when you drop the free training. There we go.
MLS in hopes of finding a good deal. Click on the link in this video and watch this presentation that I've prepared for you absolutely free. I stand behind all of our training programs.
So one thing is interesting. So you said they can get their first real estate contract in 30 to 90 days. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to the landing page. Want to learn the proven tactics for now? Yeah, I mean, the 30 to 90 days isn't even on here. First of all, let me say this. Let me back up here. The ad was really good. So shout out to you guys. I like that ad a lot. The music, the B-roll, the background, just the energy on the camera was really good. Better than most I've seen. We started YouTube ads for the first time. So I like the creative a lot. You executed it perfectly. So I can see why the ads have the click-through rate that they do. The only thing that I noticed that one idea I had while I was watching it was before I share it, my question would be the ideal demographic here are people that want to get into real estate investing, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, it's new investors that maybe own one, but usually it's like one or two, or mostly it's like zero. They own nothing.
Gotcha. And it's specifically for Canadians.
Specifically for Canadians, yeah. Just because we have a lot of the tax strategies, the financial language is different. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the ads. I almost when you were on the phone with these people, what was the quality like? Obviously, you got one deposit and potentially one pay in full coming up. So you had about 10 calls or so, or let's say 8 calls or so.
Yeah. So the calls they weren't bad. I think almost half of them like either had no money at all, like they were just kind of, and they even said that in our survey, like they said no, I don't have money, and then at the end we just say okay, no worries, but if you. We have someone that can give you 12 months, zero interest loan, blah, blah, blah. So I think half of them just didn't have it, but I took the call anyways, because like my calendar is not full. And the other half, yeah, they were decent. So I had one call, I got a deposit. I'm hopefully getting another one tomorrow. I got a verbal, but the call was good. And then I have another one I'm working on. So, so the calls aren't the worst. They're not the worst, but like, 50% were not ready or not serious.
Yeah, the only thing again, going back to my first point, I really wouldn't change much right now, guys, to be honest. It seems to me like it's working. You just need more throughput, which is calls. And that's a result of just spending more per day to be able to get them, because you have the system set up, it's working. Now we just need more throughput. The only thing I can see right here that's incongruent from the ads to the landing page is the 30 to 90 days. I think that's a very strong claim. You know, if you can get someone a real estate contract in 30 to 90 days, that could potentially give us more throughput with 5% to 7.5, 10%, whatever that extra amount could be. I would imagine it's not going to hurt the throughput either. I would imagine the landing page wouldn't do worse than 5%. So what if we added that here? Let's see. Learn 3 proven tactics for navigating Canada's booming real estate market opportunities, even in today's market. Confidently and profitably invest in real estate and get your first contract within the first 30 to 90 days without tapping into your savings. I would just add it there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then maybe try adding it into the main headline after we've spent way more, again, like another 2,500. But that's the only thing I would try testing right now, is tweaking the landing page to get it to a 10%. Like that's the next goal we have. How can we get how can we get the landing page to a 10%? And that's with just adding in that. What I saw is probably one of the biggest claims you can do, which is a better incentive for someone to opt in, because I don't see it anywhere here. And I'm interested, but if I know I could do it in the next 30 to 90 days, that would be even more incentive for me to watch and learn how.
For sure.
Good point.
Sure. And it's making me think I should go into the actual ad body and see if I even mention anything. I think it's just a deal. I don't think I talk about investors, like OPM, which we talk a lot about in our course as well. And I think Brian, right? Like it's Brian James, like they click here and then they go to the VSL page, right?
Yeah, they'll give us their information on this page, which we are getting often. People are giving us their emails. I think we've collected 80 emails this month. And then they give us their email and then they go to the VSL page.
Are you guys calling those leads?
At this stage, we only get their email. So we don't get their phone number, but we get their email and they're automatically put into a 7-day nurturing follow-up, structured after Russell Brunson.
Right. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to add phone number, and you're going to add 30 to 90 days. The phone number might not help the landing page conversion rate, but it will help the amount of throughput. So this is something that at this day and age in this market, you just have to do. I don't, maybe it's not, I mean, I don't understand why it wouldn't be legal in Canada. I can't imagine it wouldn't, but I'll just show you guys what we do so you can see this.
Yeah.
Again, you know, when Sam was running his offer, you didn't need to do this. The market wasn't as sophisticated. People were booking calls. They wanted to see a free training. They didn't really know what it was. Totally different now. People know what a free training is. They know it's a VSL. They know they're going to get pitched. So the VSL is sort of irrelevant. The fact that you guys are booking calls just from the VSL right now, and you're almost a 0.5, you're at a 0.5 return on cash and potentially a 2x on revenue, and then potentially a 4x on revenue after the 6,800 is really good. Again, I want to make sure that you guys understand that. To increase throughput, you need to do this. Right now, we have ads running on YouTube ads and Facebook ads. You can see this is our leads channel. Okay, so what happens is every single time someone comes through as a lead, they come in and immediately we have their phone number. Our setters are calling them. They check mark this when they want to claim the lead. So right now it would be maybe you, Manji, doing this. This was me doing it by myself as well, back when I was just the only full-time closer. And I'd call them immediately. And for example, I'll show you one. She came in on, yesterday, and or basically almost 48 hours ago now, but she didn't book. She actually filled out the application, but she never booked a call. You can see there's no like booked call here. It's just lead. She came in from the ads, and then she did an application. So she went through the VSL, she applied, then she was going to go to the booking page, but she didn't ever book. I noticed that, and time went by, and I just called her. I literally just called her, and I actually booked her on my calendar on a call for Monday myself. I booked them through on my calendar because when I called her, she didn't complete the booking. And she said, I wasn't going to book because my son's in the hospital and I just didn't have time. I didn't know when I was going to be free. But I'm glad you called because I'm actually curious. I'm running 40K a month on Facebook ads. I'm looking to get into YouTube. But I just couldn't book on the calendar because I just didn't have time. And then I booked her for Monday. My point is, the name of the game now with ads isn't necessarily about the VSL funnel. So the fact that you guys are getting good results right now, so far with $2,500 in spend is good. This is the name of the game. When they become leads, you got to collect their phone number. and then you got to call them. So like we're double dialing them right now. Like you can see, this means double dial. This means the phone number is obviously not working because you can't dial you can't dial three numbers.
Where is this? Where you're collecting this at? This is going into where? Or
This is our Slack channel. So what happens is, let me just show you our opt-in page, right? So this is just one variation. So once they enter their information, boom, 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 enter phone number, right? They click this, they submit, then they get to the VSL page. So the VSL page is, after they enter their phone number, they go to this page, right? And then they can schedule a demo. They fill out the application here. Boom, 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 boom. But this is, again, how they can book on their own. But my team's here already calling them as soon as they opt in to watch the VSL. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm. And you get a message, or your setters get a message where on Slack that
Yeah,
somebody.
so every single time someone opts in, we have Zapier automation automating or basically zapping them into a leads channel under our Slack that says leads. And then it says this, Zapier, right? New lead from source. So this one was from website organic. This was a test, obviously. This one's new lead from paid ads, Facebook. And this is, his name's Benjamin. Here's his email. And then here's his phone number. So again,
100%. If someone's giving you their phone number, they're not going to be thrown off if you call them.
well, of course not, right? And then there's some that just obviously enter a fake number. So,
Of course.
but that's just the name of the game, right? A lot of them will be just kind of lying. They're just kind of interested. They're just not really sure. This guy, for example, he booked on his own, but he called them anyways. Financial services guy was impressed that we work with Patrick Bet David, has a coaching business, has to run to a meeting, so booked him for a triage. So here, this guy didn't even book, but Jerry called him and he booked him into his calendar as a discovery call with him before he gets on my calendar to make sure he's a good fit. So for you, it'd be the same thing. You just book them. Hey, this is Manjeet from real estate prospect. Was it Prospect Path, right?
Prosper Path.
Prosper Path. The reason for the call, I just saw you opted in to watch our free training showing you how we can help you land your first real estate contract within the next 30 to 90 days. I just wanted to make sure you were able to access the training. Okay, cool. Now, while I have you, most of the time, I have a couple more resources I can happily send you, depending on the situation right now. You have a few minutes to chat, blah, blah, blah. I can send you a script.
Yeah, situation. Yeah.
We have basically just discover the call. You just do a quick triage right there, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. So what made you, so just curious, like what about the ad stood out to you the most? Well, I'm doing this. Okay. Is this a new thing you're looking to do? Do you have a few properties? Okay. Just starting from scratch. All right. And then you kind of qualify.
Well, yeah, you do a triage call. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if they're not a good fit. Okay. But here's the reality, right? All the 80 leads you guys have could have been right here. And then X% of them obviously booked on their own. There's 8 calls, which is, again, your VSL booking rate's about 10%. That's pretty good. We can get that to maybe 15. That could be really good. But 10%'s in the middle, like smack dab in the middle. It's between 5% or 15% is like the average VSL booking rate. You guys are at 10%. It's pretty good. So I would I would wonder how many of those people would have booked a call if you just called them, and how many of them were qualified, and how many more calls you could add to your calendar. Even if it's 3, you're right now closing at a basically 33%. You would have 2 or 3 more deals.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very simple to set up. You just have Zapier. You zap them into a channel that says where they're coming from. Paid ads Facebook, paid ads YouTube. Runs a web development agency. Was about to jump on a Zoom call, so we booked a triage. So yeah, boom. He caught him at the right time. This guy didn't even book a call, but he did because Jerry called him.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. And so you guys called him within 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So we have this process. I'll send this to you right now. So again, eventually, Manjeet, you'll want to have like commission-based only setters. And I can help you with this. I can help introduce you to some people, like Garrett Campbell, for example. Bridger's a friend of mine, or even there's another guy I know that can literally just place you with the commission-based only setter eventually. I would recommend doing it first yourself for at least the next 30 days so you can get the flow down for how your market works. But eventually you want to have this process in place. Lead ops in, right? Create a Slack, check the Slack channel and immediately call the freshest leads within the first 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, contact and conversion decreases by 400%. This is a proven stat. After 5 minutes, you just will not be able to get a hold of them. So what we do 2 calls, we text them, and we leave a voicemail. That's all on day 1. And a lot of times people will tell our setter, hey, yeah, I'm literally watching the VSL right now. Cool. Well, they just go right into triage right there,
Yeah, for sure.
Any questions so far before I keep going?
No, this is good. I understand. I see what you're doing here. Like you're basically, you're following up till something happens. And this is, you have this pretty systemized with your setters. Like they have a CRM that reminds them like, hey, you got to contact John from, day 4.
There's no CRM. Well, basically they have Alloware and they have Slack. And so what happens is Alloware is it's a software that I wouldn't really worry about right now yet, but Alloware is basically a local dialer. So instead of me calling from Arizona to you in Canada and you'd be like, who the hell's calling me from Arizona? It'll show your local area code when I call you.
I see.
So they're like, huh.
Yeah, that's good.
I used Mojo Dialer back in the day to call house owners, like so it sounds similar.
Yeah, so it's a local dialer that makes them more prone to picking up. So we use that, but the main system is just here in Slack. Like they're just using Slack, and they have the leads in here. And so they're, you can see a lot of them they haven't been double dialed yet. So now they're just going to be double dialing them, making sure that they're going for 2 dials, 3 dials on the first day, and then following this process.
Yeah, that's really good. If we can contact them and call them right there. It's hot, it's front of mind. And no, I know I would definitely convert more if I had the phone number, for sure.
Yeah, because again, this is how all of our clients are really able to scale the paid ads, including us. If we were just relying on the VSL to book the calls for us, we would be missing out on like at least an extra 40% of calls. Because I remember Cole Gordon said this once at Sam's mastermind, actually, and it was nuts to see. He said out of like 300 calls booked that they were able to track like in just one given month, 70% of them came from the setters. Only 30% actually came from the VSL. So again, this isn't ad specific. I really do believe your ads are really good. I believe your ads results are performing really well. The biggest thing I see is the opportunity to add a phone number, add the claim of 30 to 90 days, your first contract, right? And the landing page to improve the landing page.
Did you do that on the VSL page as well somewhere? Unless we have it already, but
if you don't have it, you just want to make sure it's congruent.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily change that yet. I would just change I would change one thing at a time, right? So the one thing I would change is these 2 things. Add the 30 to 90 days on the landing page, that's it. And then add the phone number. And then second thing would just be, the second action item is to start calling the leads as soon as they opt in, within the first 5 minutes. And then if they don't answer, you dial them again. If they don't answer, you text them.
I see.
If they don't pick up, you leave a voice message.
Okay. Did you send me that sheet there you were saying?
Sorry.
And you were saying, obviously you didn't watch all the hooks, but you're saying like the other 4 hooks you didn't see, just leave them for now.
I like them, man. I mean, look, the one that's spending the most money, the one I saw, that's a good hook. It's using the classic, don't do this instead, right? And that's really good. So the idea I had, I forgot to finish this point earlier. The only idea I had when I was watching the ad was, I wonder if you would actually be able to target a more sophisticated market if you just were a little bit more real, raw, and genuine, specifically with the actual ad creative itself. Like, not the background music, not the fancy cuts, not the B-roll, not the bells and whistles. The reason why,
kind of like the Roland Frazier, you have a Roland Frazier breakdown. He's just kind of on his like, hey, you don't need to buy business with your own money.
But even you, man, just on your iPhone, like maybe in front of a property that you did, or one of your clients did, or just something that's more like, because here's the thing, right? The market you're selling to is the same market that I was selling to with YouTube ads and Google ads that Dean was offering his real estate to.
That's right.
His best ads, him on his iPhone walking around and just kind of speaking from the heart. And the reason why they worked so well was because no one else was really doing that. And I've seen this shift now in the industry. I don't know if you guys are recognizing it as well, where there's a lot of, up and coming industry leaders in our space, like Charlie Morgan or Will Brown, and they're doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing, like Iman Ghazi. Iman Ghazi's all flash, bells and whistles, tons of edits, and he attracts a lot of teenagers because you have to kind of dopamine just get them with all the TikTok brain, right? Like they just need all that stuff. Yeah. But with a sophisticated audience, there's a shift happening where no edits, just you speaking from the heart and just talking about your story and how you can help them is actually something I would want you to test. You know, so I would put that as a test, have ready to go from the creative standpoint that Brian, you can put in the campaigns and just literally duplicate all the campaigns or duplicate one of the best performing campaigns once you get a little bit more clarity of which one became the sale or the sales. And then you just put those new, you know, iPhone ads, no edits, no background music in that campaign by himself. And you see how they perform against each other.
Interesting.
So let me just actually write all this out for you. That might be helpful.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is awesome.
Is this helpful so far?
Yes, very much.
Definitely. We didn't know where we were. We were just like walking around trying to blindfold it, or I was more like, I don't know what's working here. I don't know, like, are they coming through our automation?
Oh, it's working. It's working for sure. It's just we need more throughput. The way to get more throughput, add phone number, outbound dial, and spend more money. Like that's the thing. You have the system set up. The ads are good. The VSL conversion rate's 10%. You just need more people to see it. So execute on this over the next 30 days, and then let's talk again because you'll be at a much better place.
Sure.
I think
No,
that's-
definitely.